Good morning, India. It's just past 8 this 4th November morning, and we're back again with Breakfast Show. I'm Anil Thomas. Over the next 1 hour, we'll take you through the major happenings across India and the globe from the field of politics, business and sports. Also, our regular segment on health and weather report. Our top focus over the day, capital punishment in Delhi with smog getting bigger and bigger as the Cabinet Secretary now steps in to monitor the situation on a daily basis. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on a 3-day visit to Thailand to take part in the 14th East Asia Summit in Bangkok today. In business, it's official, Saudis Aramco set to rival Alibaba with an IPO, while in sports, Lewis Hamilton wins his 6th Formula One world title and closes in on Michael Schumacher's record of 7. Loads of action over the next 1 hour. We'll be getting live inputs from our team of correspondents to the top stories. But first up, this Monday morning, the headlines we are tracking at the top of this hour. Pollution situation remains grim in the national capital and NCR as air quality index touches the unbreathable mark of 1,000 at many places. Delhi government to begin odd even road scheme from today, exempts electric vehicles. Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister holds high-level meeting through video conferencing with states of Punjab, Haryana and Delhi to tackle air pollution. Cabinet Secretary to monitor situation with these states on daily basis. State Chief Secretaries have been asked to monitor with their districts on a 24/7 basis. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to take part in the 14th East Asia Summit in Bangkok today. Prime Minister will also participate in the RCEP meeting for free trade between the 10 ASEAN countries and ASEAN's free trade agreement partners. Prime Minister will discuss bilateral issues with Japan and Australia. India-Uzbekistan joint military exercise Dustlik 2019 to begin in Tashkent today. In curtain raiser event of the exercise, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh calls for isolating all countries that have adopted terrorism as their state policy. And in sports, India's Lakshya Sen bags his second successive BWF World Tour Super 100 title. Wins over China's Wang Hongyang in an exciting final at the Sarlor Lux Open. Well, India's Lakshya Sen bagging his second successive title in badminton there in the BWF World 100 title. Win overcomes China's Wang Hongyang in the final. Well, now for the stories in detail. First up, the weather in northern India. Principal Secretary to Prime Minister Dr. P.K. Mishra held a high-level meeting on Sunday evening with the states of Punjab, Haryana and Delhi to tackle air pollution. The meeting comes in the wake of the increasing air pollution levels leading to an emergency-like situation in the national capital region. The meeting reviewed the situation arising out of stubble burning, construction activities, burning of waste and industrial and vehicular pollution. It has been decided that the Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba will monitor the situation with these states on a daily basis. State Chief Secretaries have been asked to monitor the situation in the districts on a 24/7 basis. The centre has also asked the neighbouring states to reduce fire incidents and dust levels due to adverse meteorological conditions in the last 3 days. Chief Secretaries of the states provided details about the actions being taken by them to improve the situation on ground zero. About 300 teams have been deployed in the field in the national capital to tackle the challenges of air pollution. Main focus is on 7 industrial clusters and major traffic corridors in the NCR. Similar arrangements have also been made by Punjab and Haryana, and necessary machinery has been provided in the state. The meeting is in continuation of the meeting held by Principal Secretary to Prime Minister on the 24th of October. The states had assured that necessary measures will be put in place at the earliest. Meanwhile, the pollution levels in Delhi and the NCR and nearby areas shot up again on Sunday, with the air quality bordering severe plus category at several places, as air pollution touched the unbreathable level of 1,000, with a thick blanket of smog enveloping the national capital. NCR cities of Faridabad, Noida, Ghaziabad, Greater Noida and Gurugram also breathe extremely polluted air, considering which a national health emergency has already been enforced in the region. All schools have been shut in Delhi and NCR till tomorrow. Delhi is pinning hopes on the meteorological relief, with the weathermen saying winds gusting up to 20 to 25 kilometers per hour are likely to prevail in the region. Meanwhile, the third edition of the odd-even scheme will be implemented in the national capital from today to tackle the severe air pollution. The scheme restrictions will be applicable from 8 a.m. in the morning till 8 p.m. in the night. It will, however, not be applicable on two-wheeler vehicles being used for medical emergency for women and vehicles carrying school children and electric vehicles. As many as 2,000 additional buses will be deployed during the period. To cater to the commuters, all cluster buses will also be deployed along with the entire fleet of TTC buses. As per the air quality index figures released by the Central Pollution Control Board in Delhi, the highest level of 986 was recorded from Pitampura, followed by IP Extension, Safdarjung and Rohini, where the levels was recorded over 750. In NCR, the highest level of 645 was recorded from Noida, followed by Ghaziabad, Gurugram and Faridabad. As they say, prevention is better than cure. Let's take a look at this report on the do's and don'ts in this situation.
The national capital Delhi has hit the severe mark in air quality index again. Every year the city faces severe levels of smog and pollution after Diwali, and as a result the air quality gets awfully deteriorated. The toxic levels of air pollution is directly affecting our respiratory system, putting people at a higher risk for asthma and lung inflammation. Adding to the severity, the changing weather conditions have locked the pollutants in the air and made the situation worse in and around Delhi. Doctors are warning people of dire consequences and discouraging them from stepping outdoors, while Supreme Court has declared a public health emergency in Delhi NCR region. But what are the reasons behind this soaring pollution? Growing population, huge rise of vehicles, aggravating traffic congestion and increasing air and noise pollution. And as the winter season sets in, dust particles and pollutants in the air become unable to move. Due to the stagnant winds, these pollutants get locked in the air and affect weather conditions, resulting in smog and haze. The various health effects of air pollutants include breathlessness, chest congestion, irritation in eyes, asthma and allergy. The alarming situation makes it necessary to take precautionary measures to stay safe and avoid any kind of long-term problems. Health experts have advised the residents of Delhi NCR to wear masks and stay indoors, especially when the pollution levels are high. Here's a list of do and don'ts to help survive this hazard. Stay indoors as much as possible. Wear a mask whenever you go out and wear the right mask with respirators. Place air purifying plants like tulsi, spider plant, aloe vera in homes and offices to increase indoor air quality. Stay hydrated. Drink more water to flush out toxins and harmful particles from body. Start carpooling public transport to reduce number of vehicles plying on the road. Follow a diet rich in antioxidants, nutrients to detoxify and improve immunity. Foods such as fatty fish, pineapple, kiwi, onion and pepper help as natural anti-allergics. Avoid smoking. Keep proper check on pollution of vehicles. Avoid outdoor activities, physical exercise in morning. Do not burn garbage, plastic or any other discarded items. Avoid using the bigger roads with more traffic. Avoid going to areas with heavy smoke or dust. The alarming levels of air pollution will last only for a few days, but may lead to serious and long-term health problems. However, it is important to take proper precautions. It is the duty of every citizen to come together and do our own bit to control the pollution, rather contributing more. Bureau Report, DD News.
Well, for more on that story, Girish Nishana, our correspondent tracking the weather for us, joins us from ITO. Girish, good morning. Girish, give us a sense. Is there hope today? How's the weather looking today? Is it better from what we've seen in the last 3 days? And what's the meteorological department saying?
देखिए अनिल, मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा आज भी मौसम उसी तरह से बरकरार है जिस तरह से पिछले कुछ दिनों से बना हुआ है। मैं अपने कैमरा सहयोगी एमजी सुरेंद्र से कहूँगा कि वे दृश्य दिखाएं जहाँ देख सकते हैं दिल्ली के अंदर अभी तक दृश्यता पूरी तरह साफ नहीं है। हालांकि सूर्य के दर्शन जरूर हो रखे हैं, करीब 8:15 बजने वाले हैं और यहाँ पर आज प्रदूषण की जो मार है पूरी तरह से दिल्ली के अंदर देखने को मिल रही है। और आज से अनिल, दिल्ली के अंदर सम विषम योजना यानी ऑड इवन योजना आरंभ हो गई है। उसको लेके भी लोग थोड़ी परेशानियों का, दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है क्योंकि जिस तरह से पर्याप्त क्या बसें दिल्ली की सड़कों पर मौजूद हैं और उसके अलावा इस बार जो सीएनजी के वाहन हैं उनको कहीं ना कहीं छूट नहीं दी है। जो निजी वाहन हैं लोगों के, उसको लेकर काफ़ी दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है। कुछ लोग हमारे साथ है, बात करते हैं। आप बताइए कि किस तरह की दिक्कत का सामना करना है दिल्ली की सड़कों पर?
देखिए सर, पॉल्यूशन के बारे में मैं यही कहूँगा कि सुबह हो या शाम हो सांस लेने में बहुत दिक्कत होती है, दम सा घुटता है और ऑड इवन बिल्कुल फेल है। सरकार का ये काम हमारे समझ में नहीं आया बिल्कुल भी नहीं।
तो दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है प्रदूषण की वजह से?
हाँ जी, बहुत सारी दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है।
आप बताइए, ऑड इवन आज से चालू हुआ है, क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
सर, हम एक मिडिल फैमिली हो गया, अगर हमने एक गाड़ी सीएनजी बनाई यार, वो गाड़ी हमारे रोड पे चल रही है यार, अब ऑड इवन के अंदर वो नंबर आ रहा है, हम वो नहीं चला पा रहे, तो इसमें हमें बहुत दिक्कत आ रही है। इस चीज़ के ऑड इवन के बारे में सरकार को सोचना चाहिए। सीएनजी के कम से कम सीएनजी गाड़ियों को तो रोड पे ऑन रोड करें इस चीज़ को। जब टू व्हीलर को ऑन कर सकते हैं तो उसे क्यों नहीं कर सकते सीएनजी गाड़ी को ऑन?
तो कहीं ना कहीं लोगों में थोड़ा रोष है। रोष इसलिए है क्योंकि 60, 70, 75 हज़ार तक अतिरिक्त पे कर वो गाड़ियां खरीदते हैं, सीएनजी के वाहन खरीदते हैं जिन्हें प्रदूषण रहित कहा जाता है। और इस बार दिल्ली सरकार ने उनको छूट नहीं दी है, तो कहीं ना कहीं लोग थोड़े से नाराज भी हैं।
Girish, haven't those people that you spoke to, haven't they heard about carpooling? Looking at the smog around them, everyone seems to be concerned about their own problems, but not at the problem at large. Do you somewhere feel that particular link is missing? In this situation that we are, where it's almost we are reaching the AQI is almost reaching 1000. You need to be careful about what we are. The environment that we are living in, and we need to care about the environment more than about personal problems.
देखिए, कार को साझा करने की बात की जाए तो पिछली बार काफ़ी लोगों ने कार को भी साझा किया था, एक दूसरे के साथ मिलकर चले थे। लेकिन अगर इस बार की बात की जाए तो दिल्ली के अंदर दिल्ली सरकार के काफ़ी करीब 42 विभाग ऐसे हैं जिनके समय में परिवर्तन किया गया है, जिनमें से 21 विभाग ऐसे हैं जिनका समय सुबह 9:30 बजे से 6 बजे तक रखा गया है, जबकि 21 विभाग ऐसे हैं जिनका समय 10:30 से 7 बजे तक किया गया है। तो सवाल ये होता है कि अगर वो साथ जाने वाले हैं तो उनके समय में थोड़ा सा अंतर हो गया है, तो साथ कैसे जाएंगे, ये भी एक बड़ा सवाल है।
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate you joining us with those inputs there from the national capital. Well, we also got Nitendra Singh, our correspondent tracking health for us, joining us on the phone line this morning. Nitendra, good morning. Nitendra, considering the weather around us, is there a rise in the people rushing to hospital with regards to health issues faced by this particular smog and weather conditions?
गुड मॉर्निंग अनिल। निश्चित तौर पे जो दीपावली से लेकर के अब तक तकरीबन 20% ओपीडी में मरीजों की संख्या बढ़ गई है। खास तौर पे उनकी जो सांस की समस्या से पीड़ित है, अस्थमा के मरीज है या फिर दिल के मरीज है या डायबिटीज के हैं, उनको अनइजीनेस की वजह से ओपीडी में दिखाया गया। और ये रिकॉर्ड है, ऑफिशियल रिकॉर्ड है, जो जितने भी दिल्ली के तमाम बड़े अस्पताल हैं या फिर छोटे नर्सिंग होम है उनमें इनकी संख्या बढ़ गई है। 20% कम आंकड़ा नहीं होता और ये लगातार पिछले 3-4 साल से हम देख रहे हैं कि दिवाली के बाद जिस तरीके से ये मौसम चेंज होता है और प्रदूषण का जो स्तर दिल्ली एनसीआर सहित पूरे उत्तर भारत में तकरीबन 250 किलोमीटर की रेंज में जो समस्या उत्पन्न होती है उसे निश्चित तौर पे अभी अलार्मिंग सिचुएशन में है। और डॉक्टरों का ये कहना है कि अगर बहुत जरूरत ना हो तो घर से बाहर नहीं निकले। खासतौर पे एहतियात डॉक्टरों की तरफ से ये भी दिया गया है कि कई लोग पर्व त्योहार की वजह से दिल्ली से बाहर है, वो अगर कुछ दिन वहीं रुक सकते हैं तो वो रुके। यहाँ तक की एडवाइजरी जारी की गई है। दिल्ली की जो आबो हवा है वो रहने लायक नहीं रह गई है। ये एम्स के डायरेक्टर जो सांस के जो प्लमनरी के सबसे बड़े डॉक्टर है देश के, डॉक्टर रणदीप गुलेरिया ने एक तरह से उनका बयान था, उनका स्टेटमेंट था। तो निश्चित तौर पे जो बुजुर्ग हैं, गर्भवती महिलाएं हैं, बच्चे हैं, उनको के ऊपर ज्यादा खतरा है। खासतौर पे जो वॉक करने के लिए मॉर्निंग में जाते हैं या इवनिंग में वॉक करते हैं, उनको बिल्कुल ही मना किया गया है कि वो इस वक्त वॉक करने से परहेज करें। गर्भवती महिलाओं को एहतियात बरतने की सलाह दी जा रही है कि उनको घर से निकलने की जरूरत नहीं है अगर बहुत जरूरी ना हो तो। ये तमाम जो डायबिटीज के पेशेंट हैं या फिर और भी हार्ट के पेशेंट हैं, उनके लिए बड़ा लॉन्ग टर्म इसका बुरा असर पड़ सकता है। कई डॉक्टरों ने, जो दिल के डॉक्टर हैं, उनका ये कहना था कि हार्ट अटैक का खतरा बढ़ सकता है ऐसे में। तो निश्चित तौर पे लोगों को अभी बच के रहना है और कोशिश ये करें अगर बाहर निकलना है तो N95 मास्क लगाएं। हालांकि ये भी बहुत प्रभावी नहीं है। अगर जिनके पास N95 मास्क नहीं है वो रुमाल को भिगो करके उसको नाक पे लगा सकते हैं। तो ये तमाम एडवाइजरी जारी की जा रही है अनिल, ताकि लोग ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रिकॉशन ले, बचने की कोशिश करें।
Purely looking at the way the things stand, do you feel that things could get better? We're looking at the meteorological department to, looking at nature to bail us out. But, what could be the things that, we as humans could take care of in this situation where, we could at least, if not reverse it, but at least take care of our near and dear ones?
देखिए, जो सबसे बड़ी जो बात है कि मौसम जो विज्ञान मौसम जो डिपार्टमेंट है, उनका ये कहना है कि 7 तारीख के आसपास एक वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस की वजह से बारिश होने की संभावना है। तब जाकर के स्थिति बदले, थोड़ी सी हवा चलेगी अगले 1-2 दिन बाद, तो जाकर के कुछ स्थिति बदले। लेकिन फिलहाल अगले 2 दिनों तक तो स्थिति में बदलाव होने की कोई वो नहीं, संभावना नजर नहीं आती, क्योंकि पूरा जो नॉर्दर्न इंडिया है वो लैंडलॉक एरिया है, जिसके वजह से इन मौसम में जब तापमान नीचे गिरता है और हवा की गति बिल्कुल रुक सी जाती है, ऐसे में जो चाहे पराली जलाने से हो या फिर दिल्ली और एनसीआर में तकरीबन 40 से 50 लाख गाड़ियां आप सब जानते हैं कि सड़कों पे रोज निकलती है, उसका असर और तमाम जो एक्टिविटी यहाँ पे होती है कंस्ट्रक्शन के, उनके वजह से जो धूलकण ऊपर नहीं उड़ पाते हैं, जिसके वजह से ये तमाम समस्या आती है। तो लोगों को खुद बचाव करने की जरूरत है। मौसम जब तक बदले नहीं और यहाँ पर सिस्टम कुछ जो एक्शन बहुत सारे लिए गए हैं केंद्र सरकार की तरफ से, लगातार मॉनिटरिंग की जा रही है और इसका असर अगले 1-2 दिन में और दिखेगा। तब तक आप सलाह डॉक्टर की तरफ से दी जा रही है कि घर से बाहर ना निकले, कोशिश करें कि इंडोर ही रहे और जो तमाम पानी पीते रहे, गर्म गुनगुने पानी पीते रहे और घरों में जो इम्यून सिस्टम बढ़ाने की जितनी भी चीज खाने की कोशिश करें, वो तमाम घरेलू नुस्खे भी अपनाएं और एहतियात बरतना सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है अनिल।
Well, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate your joining us this morning with those updates. So each one of us need to understand our responsibility well when it comes to this kind of situation there in the national capital and take good care of not only ourselves but also our loved ones so that we can overcome this particular health issue and crisis. Moving ahead, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in the East Asia and RCEP summits in Bangkok today. This will be his last engagement before he flies back home and probably the last meeting, but the most awaited one too. RCEP will be a game-changer deal if it happens, but India has quite rightly so raised its concerns and demanded that any deal that goes through should be beneficial and not heavily loaded in anyone's favor. Besides, he will also hold meetings with the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, Vietnam PM Yang Zung Phuc, and Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison in Bangkok.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to steer India's negotiations at the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership or the RCEP. RCEP is a comprehensive free trade agreement being negotiated between the 10 ASEAN member states and ASEAN's free trade agreement partners, that is Australia, China, India, Japan, Korea and New Zealand. Prime Minister Narendra Modi sought to dispel the notion that India is as reluctant to join the RCEP trade deal. In a detailed interview to a Thailand daily, he said, India remains committed to a comprehensive and balanced outcome from the ongoing RCEP negotiations, but India would like a win-win outcome. He added that addressing India's concerns over unsustainable trade deficits is important. India made it clear that opening of its vast market must be matched by openings in some areas where Indian businesses can also benefit. Overall, Prime Minister Modi stressed that a mutually beneficial RCEP in which all sides gain reasonably is in interest of India and of all partners in the negotiation.
We believe that RCEP represents a significant economic and trade opportunity for all partners. There are obviously some critical issues still outstanding, and efforts are being made to resolve them to provide a fair and a transparent trading environment. These issues are extremely important for our economy and the livelihood of our people. It is therefore imperative that these issues are resolved satisfactorily. India remains engaged to find a resolution of these issues.
RCEP negotiations, which began in Cambodia in 2012, cover areas including trade in goods and services, investment, market access, economic cooperation, intellectual property and e-commerce. Ravi Dhiman's report, DD News, Bangkok.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi co-chaired the 16th India-ASEAN Summit in Bangkok on Sunday. In his opening address, the Prime Minister reiterated the centrality of the ASEAN and the Act East policy to India's vision for the Indo-Pacific region. He said an integrated and economically vibrant, developed ASEAN is in the interest of India. The message was clear. ASEAN lies at the heart of India's Act East policy. Addressing the summit as its host, Thailand Prime Minister hailed India's Act East policy and welcomed India's significance as ASEAN's strategic partner. Other ASEAN leaders also spoke of India as a long-term dynamic partner. They appreciated India's contribution to maintaining peace and security in the region. Moving ahead, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Sunday attended the curtain raiser event of the first Indo-Uzbek joint exercise named Daslik 2019 at the Armed Forces meet in Tashkent. In his address, Rajnath Singh said that Uzbekistan on this momentous occasion wherein the armies of our two great nations are ready to participate in their first joint exercise, Daslik 2019. He said terrorism is a global menace and all nations are affected by it in some form or the other.
आतंकवाद एक वैश्विक समस्या है और सभी राष्ट्र किसी न किसी रूप से इस समस्या से परेशान हैं। ऐसे कई उदाहरण हैं जहां कुछ देशों ने आतंक को अपनी स्टेट पॉलिसी के रूप में अपनाया है।
The Defence Minister assured Uzbekistan that India's armed forces are committed to provide all assistance and support in modernization and capacity building efforts of Uzbek armed forces.
मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूं कि भारत की सशस्त्र सेनाएं उज़्बेक सेना के मॉडर्नाइजेशन तथा उसकी कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग में अपने उज़्बेक भाइयों की हर प्रकार से मदद करने के लिए पूरी तरह से कमिटेड है।
Well, back home, the Delhi High Court has ordered a judicial inquiry to be completed within 6 weeks under retired judge of the Delhi High Court, SP Garg, in connection with Saturday's clash between police and lawyers at the 30 Hazari Court. Director CBI, Director Intelligence Bureau and the Director Vigilance or any superior rank officer appointed by them will assist SP Garg. The court also directed Delhi Police Chief to transfer Special Commissioner Sanjay Singh and additional DCP Harinder Singh during pendency of probe. The court directed the Delhi Police Commissioner to record the statements of the injured advocates and an FIR shall be lodged immediately and the copies of it shall be presented before this court. Best medical treatment will be provided to the injured at AIIMS. Lawyers and police had clashed at the 30 Hazari Court complex on Saturday afternoon, during which at least 20 police personnel and several lawyers were injured, while 17 vehicles were vandalized, according to officials and eyewitnesses. 2 station house officers and an additional commissioner were among the 20 personnel injured, police said, and claimed that 8 lawyers were hurt in the incident. Lawyers, however, said that more of their colleagues were injured than the number claimed by police. They also claimed that 2 advocates were injured in police firing, but police said they fired in the air. The 4-day-long mega cultural and literary event of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat Parv culminated on Sunday in a grand cultural evening with prize distribution to the winners of various events. Secretary, Department of School Education and Literacy Amit Khare attended the ceremony as chief guest. Swachh Bharat was adopted as the side theme of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat on the closing day. Kolkata region backed the first position as the overall winner under the Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat category, while Bengaluru stood first in the category of Language of Litfest and Bhopal region stood first position in the display of artifacts or exhibition. The secretary hailed the efforts of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan for organizing the mega event. He appealed to all students to imbibe the concept of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat and make it a part of their school and daily life.
केंद्रीय विद्यालयों में करीब 12,96,000 यानी 13 लाख विद्यार्थी पढ़ रहे हैं। उन सबको एक एक नोटबुक दी जाएगी एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत की, जिसमें वो प्रोजेक्ट के रूप में दूसरे राज्य के 100 वाक्य या दूसरे राज्य में क्या क्या पर्यटन के स्थान हैं, इन सब पे एक रिपोर्ट बनाएंगे और एक प्रोजेक्ट के रूप में जब वो काम करेंगे तो उनकी भी जानकारी बढ़ेगी और आमतौर पे जैसा देखा गया है स्कूली बच्चों में कि माता पिता भी इंटरेस्ट लेते हैं तो माता पिता की भी जानकारी बढ़ेगी। तो ये एक लगातार प्रयास रहेगा कि श्रेष्ठता की ओर और एकता और श्रेष्ठता दोनों का सम्मिश्रण बना।
A fire broke out in a 4-storied factory in Piragadi area late last night. The fire also spread to an adjacent building. 28 fire tenders are present at the spot to douse the flames. 2 firefighting personnel were injured and the injured have been immediately taken to a nearby hospital. The firefighting operations are still underway. The 9th round of the India-Bangladesh Friendship Dialogue concluded in Cox's Bazar with a call to build strategic space between the two countries. It also appealed for greater collaboration between northeastern states of India and Bangladesh to enhance bilateral trade. Speaking at the concluding event, Bangladesh Foreign Minister sought India's cooperation to resolve the Rohingya crisis. Taking part in the dialogue, Indian representative Ram Madhav said that India stands by Bangladesh in its efforts to tackle the issue of repatriation of Rohingyas to Myanmar on humanitarian and diplomatic front. Meanwhile, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has urged Myanmar to take responsibility to address the root causes of the Rohingya crisis. The UN chief spoke on the sidelines of the summit of the ASEAN attended by Myanmar's de facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi, whose government's relations with the United Nations have been strained over the Rohingya crisis. About 730,000 Rohingya Muslims fled from the Rakhine state into Bangladesh during a military crackdown in 2017 after Rohingya insurgents attacked the security posts. Since the flight of the Rohingyas from the Rakhine state, the security situation has worsened further with the intensification of a conflict between the army and rebel forces of the Arakan army. On to international stories. Iranian leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has reiterated that it will not lift its ban on talks with the United States. He also described the two countries as implacable foes on the eve of the 40th anniversary of the seizure of the US Embassy in Tehran. The relations between the two foes have reached a crisis over the past year after US President Donald Trump abandoned a 2015 pact between Iran and world powers under which Tehran accepted curbs to its nuclear program in returning for lifting sanctions. Washington has reimposed sanctions aimed at halting all Iranian oil exports, saying it seeks to force Iran to negotiate to reach a wider deal. Khamenei has banned Iranian officials from holding such talks unless the United States returns to the nuclear deal and lifts all sanctions. Iraqi protesters remained on the streets of Baghdad on Sunday, demanding that the fall of the political elite is the biggest wave of mass demonstrations since the fall of Saddam Hussein. Driven by discontent over economic hardships and corruption, the protests have broken nearly 2 years of relative stability in Iraq and killed more than 250 people in October. The demonstrators want to end the post-2003 political order, which they see as endemically corrupt and which has failed to deliver basic services. Prime Minister Abdul Mahdi has promised reforms and a broad cabinet reshuffle, but that has so far failed to appease the protesters. Hong Kong's anti-government protesters crowded shopping malls in running clashes with police on Sunday, with several suffering bloody wounds a day after parts of the Chinese-ruled city became a battleground after 5 months of unrest. The protest, which began with a human chain, ended in brutal fight where a pro-democracy politician was among the victims of a brutal attack. The violence on Sunday followed demonstrations a day earlier in which tens of thousands of people took to the streets while police fired tear gas and water cannons in an effort to disperse the crowds. The month-long movement was sparked by an extradition bill that would have allowed people in this semi-autonomous Chinese city to be tried in mainland China's more opaque legal system. The government withdrew the bill last month as demonstrations became more violent, though the movement has snowballed into a call for greater democracy and freedom. Saudi Arabia officially launched its initial public offering for its state-owned oil company Saudi Aramco on Sunday, announcing that a domestic listing will happen in December. The company said the final offer price, number of shares to be sold and the percentage of the shares to be sold will be determined at the end of the book building period. Aramco's chairman has meanwhile assured that the company was a safe bet for investors despite some concerns over the security of the Saudi oil infrastructure following a drone and missile attack at Aramco's facilities in September. Well, time now to get you the latest in the world of finance. Let's welcome on board my colleague Anchal for more.
Well, thank you very much, Anil. And today is the first trading day session. That's Monday. Let's have a look at those news which are making headlines in the world of business. And first, we are going to talk about IMF. Led by India, South Asia is moving towards becoming center of global growth and could contribute about 1/3 of the world's growth by 2040, according to a latest research by International Monetary Fund. This young and large workforce can be South Asia's strength for further progress in revenue mobilization and fiscal consolidation, greater trade and foreign direct investment. Now, from January 1st, 2020, Indian ships will prohibit on board a large number of single-use plastic products, including ice cream containers, hot dish cups, microwave dishes and potato chips bags. The decision has been taken in larger public interest by Directorate General of Shipping following an appeal by Prime Minister Narendra Modi towards freeing India of single-use plastics. In case of non-compliance and repeated offence, it will be a case for detention. It is said single-use throwaway plastics contaminate soil, river and water bodies with irreparable damage. With even individual home buyers taking builders to bankruptcy court, real estate developers from Delhi NCR are demanding that all consumer complaints must be first heard by regulator RERA before insolvency proceedings are initiated. According to the realtor's apex body CREDAI, about 450 real estate companies and projects across the country are facing insolvency proceedings under the IBC code because of default in the delivery of projects to home buyers as well as repayment of the bank loans. Well, that's all we have in this edition of Finance World. Back to Anil for more other news updates.
Thank you, Achal, for those inputs. Time now to shift focus and take a look at what's making news in the world of sports. Bangladesh defeated India in the first of the 3 T20 match series in New Delhi by 7 wickets. Chasing a victory target of 149, the visitors made 154 for 3 wickets in 19.3 overs. For the winners, Mushfiqur Rahman remained unbeaten on 60, while Soumya Sarkar made 39 and Mohammad Naeem 26 were the other valuable contributors. Earlier put into bat, India made 148 for 6. Shikhar Dhawan top scoring with 41, followed by Rishabh Pant, who scored 27. Shafiqul Islam and spinner Aminul Issam picked up 2 wickets each for the visitors. This was also the 1000th T20 international match and the first victory that Bangladesh enjoyed over India in a T20 game. Moving to badminton, India's Lakshya Sen backed his second successive BWF World Tour Super 100 title with a thrilling win over China's Wang Hongyang in an exciting final at the Saarloorleks Open. Lakshya seeded 8th overcame Wang 17-21, 21-18, 21-16 in the summit clash for his third successive singles title of the season. He had clinched the Belgian International Challenge and the Dutch Open Super Tour 100 in his last 2 outings. He has also reached the Polish Open final this year. World number 1 tennis player Novak Djokovic saw off Canadian Denis Shapovalov 6-3, 6-4 to win his 5th Paris Masters title on Sunday in a warning to his rivals ahead of the ATP Tour finals that begin next week. The Serbian faced only 1 break point in another impressive display to claim her 34th career Masters title against world number 28 Shapovalov, who was playing his first final at that level. Shapovalov gave his opponent a decisive 4-3 lead in the second set, and Djokovic then held serve throughout to snatch a morale-boosting victory ahead of the November 10th to 17th ATP World Tour Finals in London, where he will be looking to secure the year-end world number 1 spot.
It was a great tournament for me. I haven't dropped a set. I played really well, especially in the last three matches. I thought as the tournament progresses, I'm feeling more comfortable, more confident on the court, playing better. Yes, I mean, I've been feeling great, as I said, very confident throughout the entire week, especially in the last 3 days. I mean, that gives me a lot of encouragement coming into the World Tour Finals in London. You know, I have a week now to rest, get ready, and hopefully have another great tournament here.
Well, Lewis Hamilton secured his 6th Formula One World Championship title on Sunday in the US Grand Prix, won by Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas. The 34-year-old Briton finished second at the circuit in America to become only the second driver after retired Ferrari great and 7-time champion Michael Schumacher to win 6 titles. Ashley Barty finished the season in style by beating defending champion Elena Svitolina 6-4, 6-3 to add the WTA Finals title to her end of the season world number 1 ranking on Sunday. She is the first Australian to win the WTA Tour crown. Well, after sports, time to take a look at the national dailies and the headlines in the national dailies. Starting first up with the Times of India, which says Delhi with hell there, fear and loathing in capital as illnesses increase. How do you keep yourself safe? 3 pictures clearly indicating the haze there in Ghazipur, Humayun's tomb, and also Connaught Place at various points across the time when these pictures were taken. Also, how do you keep yourself safe? You got to remain indoors. You got to consult your doctor in cases of breathlessness, giddiness, cough, chest discomfort or pain, irritation in the eye, or if they are red and watery. People with airway, lung or heart illness should keep a good stock of their medication. If using masks, you need to use those certified N95 masks. Use clean, smokeless fuel gas or electricity for cooking and heating. So you got to take good care of yourself because the air quality in Delhi is going from bad to worse. Well, it doesn't end there. If you take a look at the Hindustan Time, it says North India's air the most polluted in the world. This is a rising crisis. According to this particular report, the pollution levels the highest in the year. States have asked the central government now to take the lead. The pollution soaring, the planes are choking. Most of the towns with high levels of pollutions on Sunday were in and around the NCR. If you see the cities there, amongst the top 16 cities that are mentioned in this particular chart, of them 15 are from in and around the National Capital Region, the 16th being Lucknow, which is recorded an AQI of 400. So shocking numbers there, and surely reason for concern and worry for every person living or traveling to the National Capital Region. Our next look is at the business page from Daily Mail today in the National Capital. It talks about Saudi's Aramco set for the biggest ever IPO. The oil giant is poised to raise around 20 to 40 billion from the people there, outdoing Alibaba's 2014 blockbuster listing in New York. Alibaba's listing was for 25 billion. It's expected to break that particular barrier and expected to raise anything beyond 25, anywhere in the range between 20 to 40 billion US dollars. So clearly Alibaba going to be left behind, and we're going to see a biggest ever IPO hitting the market soon. A look at the Hindu from the sports pages, an interesting story on a Dhoni-inspired experiment that's taking place in Jharkhand, and the Jharkhand Cricket Association laying out 7 different practice pitches made from different soils. So, many teams had faced this problem, when they were traveling, especially for the tournaments. While traveling for the tournaments, they face this problems where, a different kind of pitch lands up there, and the players find it difficult to adjust. But the Jharkhand Cricket Association experimenting on laying various types of tracks in the stadium complex itself, a result of which the teams can get used to and acclimatize to it. This particular pitch that has been set there has black soil brought from Bulangir in Odisha and soil brought from Bihar, and they have mixed it together and set it on new pitch for the players to try and experiment. Well, our last look is at the Indian Express and a photo on the front page in the National Daily there, clearly talking about Gurudwara Darbar Sahib, and a photo of the Kartarpur Shrine tweeted there 6 days ahead of the inauguration of the corridor, to it from India, saying that the Gurudwara is ready to receive the pilgrims, a task that is achieved in record time. This particular picture has been taken via Twitter. Well, after the national release, it's time now to jog down memory lane and take a look at all the important events that took place on this very day in history, November 4th.
On this day in 1929, Shakuntala Devi, acclaimed writer, popularly known as Human Computer, was born in Bengaluru. Her talent earned her a place in the 1982 edition of the Guinness Book of World Records. In 1954, on this day, the Himalayan Mountaineering Institute was established in Darjeeling to encourage mountaineering as an organized sport in India. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the founder-president of Himalayan Mountaineering Institute. On this day in 1979, militant Islamic students in Iran stormed the US Embassy in Tehran, taking 90 people hostage for 444 days. In 2008, on this day, Barack Obama was elected as the first black president of the United States, defeating Republican John McCain.
Well, after a look at history, it's time now to come back to the present and take a look at the events listed for today.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is on a 3-day visit to Thailand, will attend the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnerships Leaders Summit in Bangkok. The RCEP trade deal is being negotiated among the 10-country association of Southeast Asian nations, China, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea and India for the last 7 years. Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will address Ambassadors' Roundtable meeting, where 80 countries would be represented, including 49 ambassadors and high commissioners. The first session of newly elected Haryana Vidhan Sabha will begin with the oath ceremony of MLAs. It is the date set by central government for WhatsApp to file their response on the issue of an Israeli spyware that was allegedly used to target Indian journalists and human rights activists through its platform. The AAP government is to implement the odd-even road rationing scheme in the national capital from Monday.
With air quality over the past few days being the worst so far this season, doctors said that Delhi's air pollution level is now affecting even healthy individuals and is a cause of concern. Collective action is the only way forward to curb this menace. Let's take a look.
Air pollution is a major concern that may cause severe health consequences. There are two important particulate sizes which are important. One is the 2.5 micron. This is probably the most important because it is this particulate matter which reaches the lungs. The 10 micron particle, it may not reach that low down into the lungs, but it gets trapped in the upper airways. However, this also is important because it can cause upper airway irritation and lead to symptoms like coughing. Then there are these gases. Gases are like nitric oxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, ozone. These gases in fact will also damage the lungs, and they can also damage the the blood vessels when they enter into our blood and they are absorbed through the lungs into the blood system.
Exposure to air pollution may have both immediate and long-term health effects. It may increase the risk of many illnesses like heart disease, hypertension, and many other severe diseases.
Air pollution can be reduced by targeting the generators of air pollution, and that means that we have to reduce the number of vehicles which are registered in any city. We have to look towards carpooling so that the number of vehicles on the roads is reduced. We have to use better quality of fuels for driving the vehicles. Then we have to look towards reducing pollution through industry, so that the industrial gases do not go into the environment, and we have to install certain filters and mechanisms in the industry effluents so that the pollutants can get filtered out.
Steps to reduce the levels of pollution in the air may be effective to prevent the harmful effects of air pollution. Kiran Bhardwaj, DD News.
As unfortunate as it might be, it is not rare to see young children begging on your streets. We pity them sometimes, give them money, food, but how often do we take them, or do we take it upon ourselves to educate these children towards their better future? A woman in Haldwani is just doing that, and this is her story.
A woman in Haldwani who pledges to transform the destiny of poor children around her. Children who till recently would beg on the streets today have a reason to smile. Social worker Gunjan Bisht has worked hard to support children from the street, nurture them, provide them with primary education. Around 150 children have benefited from Gunjan's efforts till date. She also helped many of them get admission to government school and pursue formal education. Gunjan continues with her mission of taking young children in need to her study center.
यहाँ भीख मांगने वाले और कूड़ा बीनने वाले वंचित बच्चे पढ़ते हैं, और जितने भी मार्केट के अंदर मलिन बस्तियों के जो गरीब हैं और जिनके माता पिता नहीं हैं और जिनके जो असहाय हैं, इस तरीके से सारे जितने भी बच्चे हैं जो आज से कई साल पहले भिक्षावृत्ति में लिप्त थे, नशे में लिप्त थे, श्रम में लिप्त थे, ये सारे बच्चे हमारी वीरांगना सेंटर में पढ़ते हैं.
Gunjan started an organization, Virangana or Brave Woman, and dedicated herself to the cause of educating and empowering young children. She hopes one day no child in Haldwani and Nainital will have to beg to make a living.
पहले मैं सड़कों पर भीख मांगती थी, कूड़ा बीनने का काम करती थी. फिर गुंजन दीदी ने जब मुझे देखा तो पूछा कि मैं भीख क्यों मांगती हूँ और मुझे अपने सेंटर में लेकर आई. आज मैं सरकारी स्कूल में पढ़ रही हूँ.
इस सेंटर में सिर्फ पढ़ाई नहीं होती, हमें अच्छा खाना भी खाने को मिलता है, अच्छे कपड़े पहनने को मिलते हैं ताकि हम ढंग से रह सकें और ढंग से पढ़ाई कर सकें.
Taking note of Gunjan's achievements, today many individuals and groups from civil society have come forward to help Gunjan. Looking at these youngsters busy studying, one realizes how Gunjan's efforts have truly transformed their future. Girish Tripathi's report for DD News, Haldwani.
Well, an ambassador for change. Time now to take a look at the weather in your city. But before we end this edition of Breakfast Show, we leave you with a positive thought to kickstart your day. Success is in all of us. It just matters who is willing to work for it. Our image of the day, musical night of the 9th edition of the Northeast Festival in Delhi. Take a look, take good care of yourself, stay healthy and happy over the week ahead. Bye-bye.